So let us continue with the pin diagram of 8085 microprocessor. So this is the pin diagram of 8085 microprocessor. So this is 40 pin IC in DIP package, dual inline package. Pin number 1 and pin number 2, that is X1 and X2. These two pins are the clock pins. So here we are going to connect the tune RC or LC network or a crystal. Pin number 3 is the reset out pin. Pin number 4 and pin number 5, these two pins for the serial communication or serial data transmission or reception. So pin number 4 is the SOD, serial output data. Pin number 5, serial input data. From pin number 6 to pin number 11, so these are the interrupt pins. So pin number 6 is the trap, topmost priority interrupt of 8085. Pin number 7 is the RST 7.5, that is restart 7.5. Pin number 8 RST 6.5, pin number 9 RST 5.5, and pin number 10 and 11 are general purpose interrupt, that is INTR with INTA bar. Pin number 12 to pin number 19, these are the multiplexed address and data pins. So in this diagram, A indicates the address and D means data. So multiplex address and data pins, that is AD0 to AD7. That is A0 to A7 address lines are multiplexed with D0 to D7 data lines on pin number 12 to pin number 19. Pin number 20 is the VSS pin. So here you have to connect the negative terminal of the battery. As we know, 8085 provides 16 number of address lines, and out of that A0 to A7 address lines are multiplexed with data lines on pin number 12 to pin number 19, and separate or remaining address lines, that is remaining 8 address lines, that is A8 to A15, are located on pin number 21 to pin number 28. So in this pin diagram we can able to see pin number 21 is A8, pin number 22 A9, pin number 23 A10, and so on up to pin number 28. Pin number 29 and pin number 33, these two are the status pins S0 and S1. So various operations performed by the microprocessor are observed with the help of these two status pins, that is S0 and S1, with pin number 34 IO/M bar. So IO/M bar means, so here IO indicates IO device related operation performing by the processor, and M indicates active low. M bar indicates memory related operations are going on or performing 8085 microprocessor. So in this way, the combination of these three pins, that is S0, S1 and IO/M bar, will give you the detailed information about or the current operation performed by the 8085 microprocessor. Then two control pins, active low control pins, that is read bar and write bar. So pin number 31 is the write bar active low control signal, and on pin number 32 active low control signal read bar. Pin number 35 is the ready pin. Pin number 36, again active low reset pin, that is reset in bar. Pin number 37 is the clock out pin. Pin number 38 and pin number 39, these are the DMA access pins, that is pin number 39 hold, and pin number 38 is the hold acknowledge, that is HLDA. And on pin number 40 you have to connect plus 5 volt DC supply, or positive terminal of the battery with plus 5 volt you have to connect on pin number 40. Now we will discuss about the multiplexed address and data bus. As we discussed in the pin diagram, the lower order address, that is A0 to A7 lines, are multiplexed with D0 to D7 data bus. So address bus consists of A0 to A15. So total 16 address lines are there with 8085, and out of these 16 address lines, A0 to A7 are mixed with the D0 to D7 data bus. So as I said, 8085 has 8 separate address lines, A8 to A15. So these are the non-multiplexed address lines which are unidirectional and used as the higher order address bus, that is A8 to A15. And the lower order address bus, that is A0 to A7, are multiplexed with the data bus, that is combination of address and data, that is AD0 to AD7. So this is the main limitation or drawback of the microprocessor, and that's why to separate the address and data lines, a separate hardware or IC is required to demultiplex or to separate address and data bus. The lower order address lines A0 to A7 are unidirectional. Always remember, all address lines A0 to A15 are unidirectional, and data bus is always bidirectional. 8-bit multiplex data bus D0 to D7, yes, is bidirectional. Then they are used as lower order address bus as well as the data bus. So this is about the AD0 to AD7. During the execution of the instruction or during the operation of the microprocessor, so during the earlier part of the cycle, so in detail about the cycle, machine cycle, instruction cycle, we'll see later. Just remember, during the operation or operation cycle, these lines are used as lower order address, and then they are used for the data transmission and reception purpose. So this is about the AD0 to AD7 multiplex address and data bus. So firstly, during the execution, AD0 to AD7 lines are used for address, and then in the next cycle the same lines are used for the data transmission or data reception, that is D0 to D7 bus. Yes, so during the latter part of the cycle, these lines are used as the data bus. However, the low order address bus can be separated from the data signal by using latch kind of IC. Means by using the latch kind of IC with ALE pin, address latch enable pin of 8085, these lines can be separated, that is AD0 to AD7 lines can be separated. As I said a few minutes before, the combination of the IO/M bar pin or signal, and status signal will give you the detailed information of the operation performed by the microprocessor. So in this table we can able to see machine cycle, IO/M bar signal, S1 signal, H0 signal, and control signals used during that particular cycle. So different kind of cycles are mainly observed in any microprocessor. So first one is the opcode fetch cycle. So opcode means operational code of the instruction, and fetching means reading the opcode from the memory. During the execution of the program which is available in the memory, instructions one by one get fetched or get read from the memory IC, or the processor will read the opcodes or operational codes or the program from the memory. So reading kind of operation. So data reading and data writing, these are the two main operations are mainly observed in any microprocessor. So here opcode fetch means opcode reading operation from the memory. So during this particular cycle, on these pins, that is IO/M bar, S1 and S0, you will find the status IO/M bar 0. So 0 means active low signal, and in this case IO/M bar. So M bar pin on this particular IO/M bar pin is 0, which means that the processor is doing the memory related operation. S1 and S0 both are 1 1, which indicates opcode related operation. So here we can say that processor is fetching the opcode from the memory, and the control signal at that time you will find RD bar equal to 0. So RD bar is the active low signal equal to 0. This indicates processor is doing opcode reading or opcode fetching related operation. Then if suppose processor is reading some data from the memory, so next cycle, suppose memory read, so at that time IO/M bar again 0, S1 is 1, H0 is 0, and read bar equal to 0, which indicates memory reading operation. Opposite to this, memory writing operation. Now in this case again IO/M bar is 0, H0 is 1, and S1 is 0, and at that time you will find WR bar pin is 0. That is, processor is busy in memory writing operation. Memory writing, in another word, we can say that data storing kind of operation. Suppose a simple example, suppose you are copying a data in the internal hard disk. From your pen drive, you are copying some data on your internal hard disk. So this is the data writing kind of operation. Suppose some files are available in the computer in the hard disk, and suppose you are opening that particular file, document file or PDF file or any kind of file, so that kind of operation nothing but data reading operation. Clear? So here memory write, memory read. In the same way, IO read cycle. So IO means input device and output device related operation. So IO read cycle, now in this case IO/M bar pin is 1, which indicates processor is doing IO device related operation. Then which kind of IO devices, as we discussed in the first presentation, different input output devices, that is keyboard, mouse, these are the input devices. Then display, LED, CRT display, printer, these are the output devices. Okay, so suppose processor is reading some data or taking some information from the keyboard. So that operation is nothing but data reading operation or IO reading operation. Now in this case IO slash M bar is 1, S1 indicates logic 1 and H0 goes to active low, and at that time read bar control signal is 0, which indicates IO reading operation. Opposite to this, data from the CPU, that is IO write operation. Suppose CPU or microprocessor sending some data to the output peripheral, for example display, LED 7 segment display, LEDs, LCD display. So at that time data writing by the microprocessor, in other words we can say that IO writing operation. Now in this case IO slash M bar is again 1, which indicates IO device related operation. S1 pin is 0 and H0 pin goes to active high, and at that time control signal WR bar is 0. Then about the interrupt. So in case of interrupt, suppose the processor get interrupted by the external peripheral, so at that time you will find all the pins are 1 1 1, and at that time INTA bar is 0. So in detail about the interrupt system and the concepts of interrupt we'll see later. Then these are different states observed with the microprocessor: halt state, hold state, and reset. If suppose the halt instruction get executed by the user, so at that time the IO slash M bar pin goes to high impedance state, H0 and S1 goes to 0 0, and control signals read bar, write bar also goes to tri-state condition, and INTA bar goes to active high. Then hold pin, you suppose the hold request from the external peripheral to the processor, so at that time IO slash M bar is high impedance state, and H0 and S1 are don't care conditions. Again the same, read bar, write bar with high impedance state, and INTA bar is active high. If suppose the microprocessor get resetted by using reset in bar pin, so at that time IO slash M bar pin goes to high impedance state, H0 and S1 both are the don't care conditions, and again the same, read bar, write bar goes to high impedance state, and INTA bar goes to active high. So in this way, depending on the status available on the status pins H0, S1 and IO slash M bar, we can check the operation running with the microprocessor. Either the processor is busy in opcode fetching cycle, either he is busy in the memory reading cycle, either it is working with the memory writing cycle, or he is storing some data in the memory, or he is taking some data from the input peripheral or sending some data to the output peripheral, or get interrupted by the external interrupt signal. So likewise, depending on the status with the H0 and S1 and IO slash M bar, we can check the different operations running with the microprocessor. Now this is the functional description of the 8085. So same things are given here as we discussed a few minutes before. Pin number 40 is the plus 5 volt supply pin, VCC pin. Pin number 4 is the SOD, serial output data. Pin number 5 serial input data, serial IO signals. Pin number 6 to pin number 11, these are the interrupt signals. Trap, pin number 6 trap to INTA bar, pin number 11. Pin number 36 and pin number 3, these are the reset signals. So active low reset signal you have to connect on pin number 36, that is reset in bar. A resistive and capacitive RC network you have to connect here to reset the 8085 microprocessor. Reset out pin. So main use of this particular reset out pin is that suppose the microprocessor is interfaced with the memory or any other IC, that is 8255, 8279 or any other IC, and suppose somebody want to reset the whole system, that is 8085, and the remaining IC is connected to the or interface to the 8085. So at that time user can use this particular reset out pin, that is reset out pin of this particular 8085 is connected to the reset in signal of the another IC. So simultaneously 8085 and the remaining ICs or the peripherals get resetted. So this is the main use of the reset out pin. Now in this picture we can able to see pin number 1 and pin number 2, X1 and X2, these are the clock pins where a crystal is connected. So X1 and X2, these are the clock signals plus clock out. Now in this case, as I said, on pin number 1 and pin number 2, we are going to connect the tuned LC or RC circuit such a way that internally we can get the operating frequency of the 8085 microprocessor. As we discussed, the minimum is 500 kilohertz and maximum is 3 megahertz. So according to that, the tuned LC or RC network you have to connect on pin number 1 and pin number 2, or another option is that just connect a crystal on pin number 1 and pin number 2. So in this diagram we can able to see on pin number 1 and pin number 2 one crystal is connected. The value they have not shown. So usually we are going to connect the 6 megahertz valued a crystal on pin number 1 and pin number 2. Then internally we are getting the 3 megahertz clock frequency, or the internal clock oscillator will generate 3 megahertz clock signal, and the same 3 megahertz clock signal we can get by using the pin number 37. So why we are getting the 3 megahertz by connecting 6 megahertz crystal on pin number 1 and 2? So internally crystal oscillator which is available inside the package or the 8085 package, the generated clock frequency get divided by 2, or due to the divider network the 6 megahertz clock get divided by 2, means internally we are getting 3 megahertz, and same 3 megahertz clock signal we can get by using pin number 37. Then what is the use of that particular pin number 37, that is clock out? So suppose 8085 based one system is there and some other ICs available with 8085 or connected with 8085 IC. So at that time, suppose the requirement of the 3 megahertz from the another IC, so at that time directly we can connect the clock out pin to the clock in pin to the another IC. Okay, so this is the main use of the clock out pin. Then pin number 38, pin number 39, DMA access pins. Pin number 35 is the active high ready pin. So main use of the ready pin is that suppose the processor is busy in operation like memory reading or memory writing or IO read or IO write kind of cycle. Suppose the processor is busy, so at that time another processor want to communicate, or peripheral want to communicate with 8085, so at that time the ready pin is mainly utilized. If the processor is not ready, then he will not give the access to the another IC. Pin number 30 is the ALE pin, that is address latch enable to demultiplex the address and data bus, that is AD0 to AD7. Pin number 29, pin number 33, status pins H0S1. Pin number 34 is the IO/M bar to indicate the IO device related operation or memory related operation. Pin number 31 and pin number 32, these are the active low uh, output signal, that is control signal, read bar and write bar respectively. Pin number 12 to pin number 18, these are the multiplexed address and data bus. So here the direction of the arrow is important. Now in this case AD0 to AD7, so here the arrow is bidirectional. Why bidirectional? Because this A0 to A7 lines are multiplexed or combined with the D0 to D7 data bus. So here data lines or data bus is the bidirectional, that's why they have shown the AD0 to AD7 bidirectional, or arrow towards the 8085 and from A0 to 85. And the remaining address lines A8 to A15 address lines are non-multiplexed, they are separate. Okay, so A8 to A15 unidirectional higher order address bus. Pin number 20 is the VSS pin. So negative terminal of the battery you have to connect here, that is ground signal. Now we will see the demultiplexing concept. Okay, so as I said, address and data bus lines are multiplexed, that is AD0 to AD7. So in this particular diagram we can able to see at the left hand side the microprocessor. A8 to A15 lines are non-multiplexed, so directly they are connected to the peripheral which is available at the right hand side. So in this diagram what kind of peripheral is not mentioned, either it is memory device or any input output peripheral or any IC or any not mentioned. So this is about the simple demultiplexing logic. In the actual interfacing concepts we will see the portion available at the right hand side. So A8 to A15 lines are non-multiplex, that's why they are directly connected to the peripheral or the device available at the right hand side. So here A8 to A15 lines are directly connected. And as I said, the limitation of the 8085 is that the address and data bus lines are multiplexed. Okay, so here at the left hand side AD0 to AD7 total 8 lines are there, 8 lines of the address and 8 lines of the data, multiplexed address and data bus. Then directly these lines are connected to the latch kind of IC, IC74LS373 latch IC. So latch IC which consists of the D flip-flop. So here total 8 D flip-flops you will find with the 8 input signals. Now in this diagram only one D flip-flop they have shown with output buffer, and the controlling of this D flip-flop with the help of the ALE signal, or with this 74373 IC you will get the input signal and output signal and enable signal, and enable signal of this latch is usually connected to the ALE address latch enable. Okay, so in this way total 8 D flip-flops you will find at the input stage, and the 8 buffer kind of buffers at the output stage. Okay, so depending on the latching concept, once the ALE pin goes to active high in the first cycle, that is opcode fetch cycle, the information available or the address available on A0 to A7 get latched or get locked in D flip-flop or 8 D flip-flop. Once the address get locked or get latched in 8 D flip-flops, the remaining lines or the same lines can be used for the data communication. So in this diagram we can able to see same lines are connected to the peripheral which is available at the right hand side, either it is memory or any IC. So D0 to D7 lines are connected to the peripheral. So in this way, once the information, that is address, get locked in the latch, same lines can be used for data reading or data writing operation. So this is the simple logic behind the latch and the ALE signal, that is demultiplexing logic of the 8085. So we will stop here. In the next session we will see the different addressing modes and the instruction set available with the 8085 microprocessor.